Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. In this video, we're diving into SRX Health Solutions Inc.'s latest filings. And let's just say their financial rollercoaster has been quite the ride. Imagine a company that has been through more changes than a chameleon in a disco. That is kind of where we're at with SRX Health Solutions. They've been through a big business combination, a name change, and unfortunately a major part of their old business is now just a memory. But hey, at least they're still in business, right? Before we start, if you love getting the real story behind financial reports, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to chat about these numbers with other finance fans, we have a Discord community linked in the description below. So, what is the lowdown on SRX Health Solutions, formerly known as Better Choice Company Inc.? Well, it sounds like they've undergone a seriously big transformation. They were involved in specialty pharmaceuticals and healthcare services, but that whole side of the business has pretty much shut down. Think of it like a business deciding to clean house, getting rid of a big chunk of its operations because it just wasn't working out anymore. Now, they're mainly focused on the pet health and wellness part of the business, specifically with the Halo brand. It is like they pruned off the dead branches to let the healthy part grow. The story here involves a situation where parts of their business, specifically SRX Canada, entered into what is called creditor protection proceedings. Basically, they sought court help to sort out their financial issues. This process is ongoing and has really changed the landscape for that part of the company, which is now considered discontinued operations. It means it is no longer part of their main, ongoing business. Let's talk about the money situation for the year that ended in September 2025. The company brought in about $6.5 million in sales. This is from their continuing operations, which is their pet food business. Now, keep in mind, this is a completely different picture from previous years because of all the restructuring. So comparing it directly to the past might be a bit misleading. It is like comparing apples to oranges. Looking at what people owe them, accounts receivable was around $3.9 million. This is money customers owe them for products already delivered. Their inventory, the stuff they have ready to sell, was valued at about $2 million. They have to be careful here to make sure they don't have too much stock that might expire or become outdated. Here is a tough number. They had a loss from their ongoing business of over $11 million. That sounds like a lot, and it means they spent more money than they made from their pet product sales and related operations. But remember, they are still in a transition phase. On a more positive note within the financials, they recorded something called a bargain purchase gain of over $4 million. This often happens in business combinations, essentially meaning they acquired something for less than its fair value, which is a nice little boost. When you strip away some of the one-off items and look at what they call adjusted EBITDA, which is a way to measure the core operating performance, it was a loss of about $1.8 million. So even with adjustments, the core business is still bleeding a bit of cash. When we look at how much cash is actually moving in and out of the business from its day-to-day operations, they used about $8.1 million. This means cash is leaving the company faster than it is coming in from its operations. Now, investing activities are where they put money into things like equipment or other businesses, or they sell things. In this period, they actually saw a positive cash flow of nearly $6 million from investing. This was largely due to cash they received when they acquired other companies. And then there is financing. This is about borrowing money or selling stock. They brought in over $12 million from financing activities. This likely came from selling shares or getting loans to keep the business running and growing. Let's look at the balance sheet. This is like a snapshot of what the company owns and what it owes at a specific point in time. As of September 2025, they had about $1.3 million in cash. This is crucial for day-to-day operations. What they owe to suppliers and others' accounts payable was about $2.1 million. They have to pay these bills to keep their business going. They also owe money on something called convertible debt, which is a loan that can be turned into stock. This long-term debt was about $4.4 million. This number, accumulated deficit, is a big one. It represents the total losses the company has had since it started, minus any profits. It is sitting at a negative $22.9 million, showing a history of losses. And that history of losses really shows up here in total stockholders' equity. After accounting for everything, they have just $407 left in equity. This is incredibly low and suggests a very precarious financial position. Looking at their cash flow statement really tells a story. Over the year ending September 2025, they used about $8.1 million in cash just from operating their business normally. Overall though, after everything, their cash increased by about $1.4 million. This might sound good, but it is mostly thanks to the money they got from financing activities, not from generating it through sales. Let's look at their income statement for these past couple of years. The part of the business they've shut down, those discontinued operations like the Canadian pharmacy part, lost them almost $36.4 million. That is a huge number and explains why they decided to cut it loose. When you combine everything, the total loss for the year was over $47 million. That is a significant loss for the company. Now, normally we'd hear from the auditors about how everything looks. For the most recent year, Davidson & Company LLP gave their opinion that the financial statements present fairly. But it is interesting to see they served as the company's auditor since 2025, meaning they've stepped in recently. There is also a report from MNP LLP covering earlier periods. And they mention a material uncertainty related to going concern, which is a red flag that suggests there is doubt about the company's ability to stay in business. So what is the story here? SRX Health Solutions has been through a radical surgery, shedding a massive failing part of their business to focus on their pet health brand, Halo. The pet business is generating sales, which is a positive sign, but it is clearly still struggling to be profitable on its own with substantial losses and a very low overall equity. They've been relying heavily on external financing, which is a common strategy for companies in this position, but it always comes with risks. The fact that they had to restructure a big part of their Canadian operations and are still facing significant losses from their ongoing business means they have a long road ahead. The key will be whether Halo can truly become a profitable engine for the company, and if they can manage their finances wisely. Right now, the future looks uncertain. And while they are showing signs of life in the pet sector, the financial health is still shaky. Alright, that is our breakdown of SRX Health Solutions' latest filings. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. If you want to connect with other finance enthusiasts and discuss these reports, make sure you check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching, see you next time.